I love cats. And I love cats because cats are just these great creatures, in my opinion, that coexist with you as long as you keep them fed, they have water, and you have a place for them to poop and sleep. And they're great. And they just coexist. And someone like me who's got a busy schedule, they're awesome. And I think there's people in the NFL, there's players in the NFL who are like cats. Keep them fed, keep them happy, make sure they get their paid. They work. They just coexist so beautifully. So we're going to play a little game. We're going to rank the top 5 cats of the NFL. And this isn't actually in any particular order. This is just 5 cats I wanted to talk about. Our first cat is a younger cat. He is new to the list, but from everything I've seen with all the stuff going on, I think he absolutely deserves to be our first cat. And that is coming off his first 3 touchdown game of his career, Nick Chubb. With all the noise that's come out of Cleveland, Baker likes to talk, Odell likes to talk, Landry's active on social media. The one guy who's just, you don't hear anything about, just goes to work. He's coexisting. He's got his contract. He gets his carries. He's good. Nick Chubb, he goes in, he goes out. You don't hear anything about him in the press. You don't hear anything negative about him. Just a really good teammate, goes in, does his job. There's noise over here, noise over there. Nick Chubb is just a nice, peaceful, quiet cat. And I think if the Browns are going to have more success, I think Nick Chubb needs to be more of a focus. And he should be getting the ball 15 to 20 times at least every game. And then let that turn into play action and deep passes for the dogs on that team. Next cat up on the list is a cat that has changed households. My first cat, Chowder, originally had a different owner and then became mine about a little over 2 years ago. This cat was in Oakland and then found a new home in Texas. And Amari Cooper has been one of the best cats and a much needed cat and help for Dak Prescott. Amari doesn't really talk. From everything that you hear about him, he's first guy in, last guy out. Super hard work ethic. He's almost got that Marvin Harrison feel to him. That in a league of very talkative receivers, in a league of diva or prima donna receivers, Amari Cooper, Marvin Harrison, they don't talk. They go catch their 7-8 passes. They go home. They're good. Marvin Harrison always got paid. Amari Cooper is going to get paid. Remember, Marvin Harrison might have been the best receiver for about a 4-year stretch in the 2000s, and that coexisted at a time with Terrell Owens, Chad Johnson, and Randy Moss. Amari Cooper is much higher on the receiver list than people give him credit for, but because he's not a big talker, he's not big on the extra stuff, he's just a nice cat. And he's coexisting. He'll lay down. I love cats, guys. What can I say? Amari Cooper. Our next is a group of cats. You can have multiple cats. Cats for about, if you get more than one of them, for about a day or two, they'll kind of, hiss at each other or be like, hey, this is my house. Hey, this is my area. But then after that, they're all just laying on the floor. They're all happy, taking naps. And that's the 49ers offensive line. Now, Joe Staley being hurt for the next 7 to 8 weeks does hurt this. But the 49ers offensive line has allowed the fewest amount of sacks in the league. There's no star on the offensive line. There's no one's talking about the offensive line. Everybody's talking about Garoppolo. Everyone's talking about Kyle Shanahan. The offensive line, they just go to work. They're doing their job. Keep them fed. Garoppolo's got his money. He can take him out for steaks. 49ers offensive line, the best group of cats in the league. Then, these next 2 cats, these are some lifetime achievement cats. These are your older cats. Cats as they get older, they do start to get a little more friendly. They start to get more, they become more dog-like almost. Like, they want to be around you. They purr a lot more. Excuse me. And they're just very accepting of, hey, you took care of me. I'm gonna try to be more receptive to you. And that's the Patriots. And this isn't just a Patriots player. This is pretty much all of them at this point. At some point, you just have to turn around and be impressed and say, hey, you know what? They literally do this every year. They can turn the roster around, but almost everybody they bring in works. You got a couple bad apples. You got, AB didn't work fine. Chad Johnson really didn't work fine. But 90% of the guys they bring in, they work. They all manage to fit into the system. They all win. And it just, the Patriots, that is the Bill Belichick and his cat tree. That's the best cat tree in the NFL. And our number one, or last cat, once again, a Lifetime Achievement Award for the epitome of just goes to work, super positive. He's got his contract. He's always been fed. He's just a happy cat in his place. That's Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald, who, when he retires, we're going to give him a really nice long segment on this show about how great he's been since day one. Larry Fitzgerald just passed Tony Gonzalez for the second most receptions in NFL history. Think about that for a second. Larry Fitzgerald, who outside of a 3-year stretch with Kurt Warner, you couldn't name two of the quarterbacks he played with. He's been in basically quarterback purgatory in Arizona, and he's got the second most catches ever. You don't hear anything negative about him. He just goes to work. He transitioned in from an outside receiver to a slot receiver. He just goes to work. He does his job. He's well fed. He's peaceful. He's rested. Larry, man. Larry's the, Chris Carter said, Larry Fitzgerald is the second greatest wide receiver of all time. Or second most accomplished wide receiver of all time. And I agree. And he is our final cat. Those are the cats of the NFL.